Okay, this is page 2 of the review worksheet for chapter 13. Starting with number 20, we're supposed to find the phase shift and period of this function. So the phase shift is the horizontal shift right here. So this is, because it's x minus the value of the phase shift is positive pi over 2, which is going to send this right by that many units. So the period will begin there, and then the period is 2 pi over b, and b is right here, it's 3, so the period is 2 pi over 3, or 2/3 pi. We're supposed to do the same thing in number 21. Again, this is a phase shift that's going to go right by pi over 3 units. And b is equal to 2, so my period is 2 pi divided by b, or 2 pi over 2, which is a period of pi units. Okay, number 27, I'm supposed to write what the equation is of this graph. So I notice here that the amplitude of the graph, it appears to be 1, if this is the y-axis. The x value is from 1 to negative 1. I notice I'm starting at the top of the function, at the maximum value, so this appears to be a graph of cosine, and that's all the choices are. So now I've got to look at what's the amplitude. So if I look at it, it completes a full cycle by right here, and this is pi over 2 on my graph, and if that's a little obscured, I can see that it's half a cycle right here at pi over 4. So it's a complete cycle at pi over 2. So if the period, which is 2 pi over b, is equal to pi over 2, I can solve for b. So b times pi is equal to 2 times 2 pi, or 4 pi, and then dividing through by pi, b must be 4. So again, looks like cosine, looks like b is 4, and the amplitude is 1, so that would be choice C, with the b of 4 right here, and an amplitude, an a of 1. In number 23, the graph, it's this form, a times the sine of x plus d, so there does not appear to be any kind of a phase shift going on. So when I look at this, I get a max of 12 and a min of 4. So this is 4 below positive 8, and 12 is 4 above positive 8. So this right here is like my midline that divides the graph in half. So that's 8 up. So this would mean that I'm in this form that d is positive 8. And the amplitude appears to be 4. So a is 4. So I get, and again, this looks like a sine because I start in the middle of the function and go up, and so there is no phase shift apparently, so this would be y equals 4 times the sine of x plus 8. Okay, then again, for number 24, this is a cosine function, and I know cosine starts at the top of the period, so I'm thinking that this is a phase shift where I've moved over, and I can see in here it's telling me there's going to be a phase shift by pi over 6. So let's look at what we've got here. Horizontally, our min is at 3 and our max is at 7, and those are 4 apart. So 2 up from 5 and 2 below 7 must be like our midline or our baseline of the graph at 5. So that tells me I'm up 5. So d is 5, positive 5, up off of the x-axis. My phase shift appears to be right by pi over 6. If I continue this, if this is 1/6 pi, 2/6 pi, 3/6 pi, 4/6 pi would get me this 2 pi over 3, 5/6 pi, this would be a whole pi right here, then this value at this edge is 1/6 more than pi, or 7 pi over 6. So if this function goes from pi over 6 to 7 pi over 6, its phase shift is to the right by pi over 6. And I know I've gone up by 5. And then B, it appears to be that this is period from pi over 6 to 7 pi over 6 is pi. So if the period is 2 pi over b is equal to pi, then 2 pi must equal b times pi. So b must equal 2. And this is a cosine, and my amplitude here is also 2 because I go 2 up and 2 down from the center. So I get y equals 2 times the cosine of 2 times 2x minus pi over 6 plus 5. Okay, number 25. Which of these equations describes the graph? Well, this looks like it's got an amplitude of 2, and it's centered here on the x-axis vertically. So this is going to be either D or A in these choices. It looks like the sine function because it starts at the middle. Its period appears to be pi. So if the period of 2 pi over b is equal to pi, then 2 pi is equal to b times pi, and b is equal to 2. So an amplitude 2 and b is equal to 2, so that's going to give me choice D. There's no vertical shift or phase shift going on with this problem. Then the last one on this page is number 26. Which of the following have an amplitude of 2 and a period of 6 pi? So if the period of 2 pi over b is equal to 6 pi, then b times 6 pi is equal to 2 pi. So b is equal to 1/3. So if the amplitude is 2, A is 2, and B is 1/3. So I'm looking for B of 2 and A of 1/3. That would be choice D, 2, and then this is a x over 3 is another way of saying 1/3 of x. So that's it for page 2 of the review worksheet.